Hey everybody, it's Lynn from A Bit of Birdsong. Oh my, this envelope makes the desk look really small, but actually I have a lot on the desk. So I'm going to try to show you what's in these fun packs. This is one that is packaged up. A couple of you have already asked for one of these. The ones who have asked for sure, I will reserve one with your name on it in Etsy. No obligation though. If you change your mind, that's perfectly fine. So let's just start from the top. These packs have some really fun educational cards printed in Italy. This is from 1979. This was from a historical pack of cards, or history, I guess, you know, to teach children about history, or adults too. And they're really fun. They're from all different time periods. Well, they're all from the 70s, but they represent all different time periods. And you can learn about different eras and different crafts. Like there's candle making, and it just talks about things on the back. Different things, different people. I found some fun gift bags, and I love the big letters on the front of those. So each pack has a gift bag in it. And let's see, I don't want to lose anything here. So there's a gift bag, and each one has one of these little spools. I used a spool recently to wrap paper around that was really distressed. It was part of a dictionary page, and I glued it so that the word that I wanted was kind of at the top, and I used it as a charm. There are some tickets in each pack. There is a little strip of pictures in each pack. For some reason, it looks like this one has two, so we're just going to leave that just like it is. Each pack has 10 of these cards, if I didn't say that. Each one has one of these little fun envelopes that opens up. It's got sort of a butterfly shape here that folds out, and you can attach that. You'll see when you receive it. There's a tiny little piece of napkin here. It's really just enough to get one or two keys out of, but I thought that was cute. And here are some cards, 3 cards from a deck of cards that is all about the British monarchy. So it's got different kings, like this one happens to have James I. Each pack has 3 of these. Maybe this is it. There's another one floating around here somewhere. We'll find it. These are fun. They're just little samples. Here, let's do this. Let's put these 3 together, and they would be fun to hang as charms on a journal. Each one has a vintage envelope. This is 1926, and it's got the stamp and the postmark. There is a silvery leaf that you can glue onto a page or just do whatever you want to with. An old ribbon, a track ribbon. This is 1977. Most of them are from the 70s. And then this was just in some stationery, Story of American Cards, and it looks like just a little like quality control something. There is a postcard with the fish, USA 28 cents. A postcard from the Museum of Modern Art. That's the Cary Grant and Rosalind Russell. I used one of those recently in a book. I like this postcard. It just says Art Walk, and I ended up just cutting those words out to put on the front of a little journal that I'm working on. Here's a fun piece of paper, Ace Hotel, New York, and then a postcard with the pretty tree. All of these things, you can just be creative and use these however you want to. This is just a tall envelope. I like the airplane there. Really pretty piece of tissue paper with the sparkles on it. And here is a piece of paper. I love the butterfly. It says Everblue, and I wasn't so crazy about the color of this, so I tore mine off when I used it. Anyway, that's there. Here is a little textile sample card. It looks like a piece of leather on there, and a couple of pages from a little notepad. You can see the bird with the top hat. There's an envelope with a feather, envelope card with a feather on the front, and it's nice and just it's really sturdy. Very nice paper. You could use that to write in or just whatever you want to do. A pretty envelope there with the pansies on it. And then some of the little appliques with the butterflies. And I've just been using these to glue onto my journal pages to decorate them. There are a couple of pages from a vintage bird book. And this book happened to have had some water stains on it that I thought made it just look even prettier. It looks very old. Each pack has a letter, a vintage letter. Some of the letters are 2 pages, some are 1 page, and they're all from the 60s and 70s. So there's that. Here's a pretty card with this beautiful lily. A couple of these or 3 of these sheets of paper that are made to print payroll checks on. And you can just, they're perforated. I really liked these because of the numbers. I love using things like that. So then we get into some vintage stationery, Los Angeles Times, the Spudtown Tattler, and here are some Xeroxed pages where someone had typed up, this is funny, I was bitten 30 times by some creature I've never even seen, probably ground fleas, where I sat on the ground at the bus stop once. I have no idea that there's some funny stuff in this. I mean, it's out there. It's someone's account of something. And then we have this. That looks like a handwritten note that was Xeroxed. And it seemed to be copies of a letter or like a diary entry of someone. There's just some plain white paper and then some bright pink paper and then some paper that is that old computer paper. It's perforated so you can, you know, tear the sheets apart and then these edges tear off. Quite a few book pages from some different books, and I thought they had pretty illustrations and pretty writing, some interesting pictures. So a few of those, a calendar page, and each one had a really pretty image on it. And then a couple of pages from a book about dried flowers. I thought it had some pretty illustrations. And then a page from a General Electric notepad and sort of a, like a graph paper there, probably some sort of record keeping thing. Then one of these folders that's got sort of the old, kind of an olive green color paper, and it's got the metal across the top instead of the plastic, and the metal is attached. It's not like the file folders where it slides out. What I really liked was this embossed business name, and I kind of just tore that out from mine and used that one part in one of the journals I made. And then we have these old file dividers. You can tell there's bending here, a lot of discoloration from oil on the hands and probably oxidation. Anyway, this stuff is great to stamp on with ink stamps. You could use that however you want to. And then each pack has a file folder like this that you could use to make a journal. Each pack has got a piece of fabric that has Frida Kahlo. It's kind of a tall piece of fabric, so you can use that, you know, on a journal cover or however you want to. And then each one has a nice piece of this heavy cotton, sort of an industrial looking fabric, and it's got some staining on it. I did not wash this. I don't think it had ever been used. It was like a piece of fabric that had probably been sitting somewhere for a long time, and it was just folded up, and I cut it down into equal sizes. And then each kit has a piece of fabric it could vary in size and in design, but they're all pretty. Some of them have the butterfly fabric, some have a vintage floral fabric, and it's actually a designer fabric, and that fabric looks like this. It's from a large sample piece. Now I think I only have 2 of these, and the rest is the butterflies, and I do this normally at random. Obviously I don't have enough, you know, to give like 5 people the floral fabric. If 5 people were to ask. So if anybody has a preference, I will do my best to fill that. Maybe I could even separate the packs in Etsy Maybe I'll do that. That'll make it easier, the fun pack with the floral and then the fun pack with the butterflies. I do think that the pieces of fabric are tall enough that you can get a journal out of it. Like this one's long, and it's a long piece of fabric, but I still think that, you know, it's tall enough to get a journal out of. But I will leave it to your creativity and your imagination, like how you want to use it. I think that's pretty much it in all of the packs. But the paper, it's nice to have extra paper. The fabric is fun, the free to image, and you know, the ephemera in here, the old letter, the cards. It's a lot of fun to have something like this to sit down and make a journal. So that's it for the packs. They're a lot of fun. I've been having a lot of fun with mine, and they will be listed in my Etsy shop. There will be a link below. So thank you so much. I really appreciate you watching. I'll be back really soon. I want to make a journal out of a junk journal pack that I put together and sell where I work. And I'm kind of going to do it to prepare for the class I'm going to be teaching that'll be coming up on the 20th. So stay tuned. I will be back as soon as I can. Bye for now.